Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. I may be coming across a little muffled at the moment, but I'm wearing a mask because I'm on Circular Quay train station, and the rules are you've got to wear masks, so we'll try and do the 5am Club, or kick off the 5am Club masked but not gagged. It's an overcast morning, sprinkling again. It's been an interesting summer. Lots of overcast mornings, quite a bit of rain, but we'll just take what we can get and enjoy life as best we can and not complain. Anyway, we'll go on a bit of a walk and talk. I think the rain's holding off by the looks of it. And what I want to do is take you through a book summary that I read this morning on the way in on the bus, and it's entitled The Third Door. The Third Door, and it's written by an author named Alex Banayan. Alex Banayan, who was a contestant on The Price is Right and won some money. And with that money, he fulfilled one of his life dreams of travelling extensively to interview successful people and to find out what makes them tick, and wrote his book, The Third Door. So let's continue walking and we'll chat away. Alex kicks off his book with a lovely quote, and the quote is, "You have to go for it, even if there is a chance to fail. The planets are never going to be perfectly aligned, so when you see an opportunity, it's up to you to jump." So it's a massive call to action. It's a book which basically inspires people to chase their dreams and to be their own ticket, be their own pass, and not wait for others to grant them permission to be happy in life, or to give you permission in order to get what you deserve. So the author uses a wonderful analogy, a metaphor of life, to illustrate his teachings and his learnings. And he basically says that success is like getting into an exclusive nightclub. Success is like getting into an exclusive nightclub. And I remember as a young bloke, back in my early years when I was in my late teens, where Sydney was a thriving place with nightclubs that we'd always frequent. And let's just go down here on wharf number 6 because it is sprinkling, and I don't want to wet my camera or wet my notes and get them all smudged up. But back in the late 80s, there were nightclubs all over Sydney, and the scene was the same wherever you went. They'd limit the number of people, especially males, getting into a nightclub. So you'd see people lining up outside for hours on end. And I too was one of those who would end up lining up, and you'd be lined up the front there, 1 o'clock in the morning, to get into this exclusive nightclub, only to be played, of course. And they'd be letting in all the ladies, all the beautiful ladies. You'd see all the ladies dressed with their mini skirts and tight pants and you name it, and you just you'd be in heaven just saying, "Oh, I can't wait to get in there with all these beautiful ladies." But the funny thing is, you'd be waiting there for hours, And the more people that were waiting out the front, the more people would want to line up to go into these nightclubs. So it was one of the ploys that they used to limit the numbers going in order to create the atmosphere and the perception that it was a special place and it was worth waiting to get into. And then all of a sudden your turn had come and you'd go in with your mates, only to find that the place had emptied out because it was 3 o'clock in the morning and everybody had gone home, and whoever was going to get a bonk was at home enjoying themselves, and the rest of us were there just buying expensive drinks and ticking the box that we've been into the club. So the author uses this analogy, and the analogy is quite simple, that it's like getting into an exclusive nightclub. So you've got 3 groups or 3 entry points. So the first one is lining up at the front door like most people and waiting your turn to get in. So that's one of the doors that we can use to describe this third door principle. The second door was the door where the VIPs
Attention, emergency situation. Sit and brace yourselves. Attention, emergency situation. Sit and brace yourselves.
anyway, they're just testing their emergency procedures on the ferry. So the second door was where the VIPs slipped in. They just flashed their little badges and went in with their ladies, or and they'd park their expensive cars out the front. I remember back in the day where you'd be waiting at the front of Pips, which was an exclusive nightclub, and the people would come and park their Ferraris and Porsches out the front, and the valet would park it. It was quite sexy, quite spectacular, and as a young bloke you'd say, wow, I'd love to be like that one day. But the third door, which is this book is all about, talks about using your resourcefulness and going around the back and coming through the kitchen door, or coming through a window, or through just testing the other doors on the premises, or using your network, or just using something to get in. So the book here is a call to action for you to employ your resourcefulness to enable you to achieve your dreams and to get to where you want to get to by just doing whatever you have to do to get in. So the author then goes through 3 key points in the book, and the first point is the importance of persistence. And once again, the author reminds us that, as cliche as it sounds, persistence is the consistent factor for most success stories. In a nutshell, the author is suggesting that unless you're persistent, then you're not going to achieve very much in life. And as the author suggests, that while it's cliche, it's so true. And if you never give up, if you're tenacious, if you remain tenacious and be persistent in the right way, with the right spirit, then you will be in a better position to achieve a lot more in your life. But the focus is on never giving up, being tenacious, being persistent, but being persistent in the right way. So what does the right way actually mean? This is the key learning from the book, to be persistent in the right way. Because the author says that we need to keep a balance between persistence and rudeness. You know how some people are persistent and they're pleasant, and other people are persistent and obnoxious and rude and just plain annoying? You need to be careful that you don't cross that boundary, cross that line and become annoying. And most importantly of all is never be presumptuous Never just think that because of your persistence that you have an entitlement to somebody's time and to somebody's help. The next point that the author makes in this wonderful book is that we all need to learn how to push beyond our comfort zone. We need to pick up the phone and make the call, because once and only once you exit your comfort zone are you really going to be in a position to reap the wonderful rewards that are available for those who are willing to achieve or swim against the tide of comfortableness. So you need to swim against the tide or across the tide and not with the tide if you want to achieve or get to a place which is special. And the last point is a cracker, is a beauty. And it's something that we hear all the time, we're reminded of all the time, but it's absolutely critical. Unless you define success in your own way, you will never find the right third door. Starting to rain a little bit more now. So let's just dwell on that for a couple of minutes now. Unless you define success in your own way, you will never find the right third door. So what the author here is stating, and as a call to action, is that we need to define what success is for us. And most importantly, we all need to find our own way. What works for our sister, what works for our brother, what worked for our parents, or what worked for our uncle or grandparents or mates or other people around us is not going to be the thing that's going to work for us. And years ago there was a saying coined that you just can't out Amazon. So if you try and copy people around you, if you try and copy a different person's personality, what you're doing is you're doing yourself a disservice, because you're trying to be somebody else and you're not trying to be yourself. So the key is, according to this author, is to remain authentically you. And you just can't copy others, as the author says, but you need to find a way to be yourself. Because you and only you are the one who is going to be able to find your third door and push your way through it. The author also used an example from back in the Apple days, how Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, who were the co-founders, were two very different people who had very, very different success paradigms and success definitions. Steve Wozniak just wanted to have a simple life. Although they were both founders and critical in the growth and development of Apple, they had different roles and they had different definitions. Steve Wozniak, according to reports, just wanted to remain an engineer, to be happy, to love his dogs, and to be a co-employee, to be able to help others grow, develop and reach their goals. So I think that leaves us there. So a wonderful book with some interesting stuff to think about and to mull over. And we'll finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel great, even though it's raining and wet on this Friday. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and most importantly, stay reasonable. And let's define success in our own way and learn how to search and push through that third door. And that third door is the door that is only the door which is available to us. I see my mate over there, Justin, going on his morning run. I've got to congratulate him next time I see him. That's dedication. Going on a pre-dawn, pre-sun-up run in the rain, in the city, just before work, means to me that he's committed and he's well on his way to achieving his dreams, whatever they are. But a notable expression of commitment. So thank you very much, and I look forward to coming to you again tomorrow or later on this morning when I'm on my morning tea break, to come to you with another 5 a.m. club where we hopefully learn, grow, live, learn and pass it on. And we'll chat again. Yasas, take care, like ya, and bye for now from Jim on Jim's 5 a.m. club from a wet summer Sydney. Take care and bye.